So this has been a video that I've been wanting to film for a very long time. During quarantine, I decided to really perfect the art of being a plant owner. When I was younger, I would watch my grandma just shift the dirt by hand, and I would just sit there like, woman, are you insane? You are literally taking out every single rock out of this dirt. Like, what are you doing? This takes hours, and for what? Because I didn't appreciate owning plants. I have this summer gone crazy, okay? So I started out first with succulents, okay? So I got one little succulent and I was like, oh my gosh, you can propagate one succulent and then get like 20 succulents from that one succulent for free? This is amazing. I started out with succulents, and then little by little, I started like looking up the science behind them, and then I was like, you know what? Why don't I try for an actual plant that needs a little bit more watering than, you know, one time during the summer. So then I slowly started buying more plants, and then I was like, you know what plant I really want? I want a monstera. Well, I bought one of those, and guess what, guys? It's alive. So I feel like I'm not basic anymore, but I'm a little bit above basic. So I would say intermediate, but not really intermediate, because there's a lot more I still need to learn. I just went to Lowe's this weekend, and guess what? I went for one pot, and I seen the clearance section, and $3, $5, and I was like, it won't hurt. I need to build my collection. Why not? So I ended up buying some plants from Lowe's. I saved the babies. I wanted to see if I can revive them. They didn't look that bad. Some of them are succulents. The other ones are not so much succulents, like this baby. So I ended up buying 4 plants this weekend when I had no intentions at all to buy more plants, because I have other plants to take care of my house, but the more the merrier. So I want to show you guys my collection and all my plants that I currently have in my room, along with the plants that I just bought, and then I'm going to repot them, and then let's see how bad these plants are that I actually purchased. So I am going to show you guys all of my collections of all my babies in my room, and maybe even my plants that I have outdoors, but I don't know about that one because it's actually raining in California, so that's why the lighting is maybe a bit bad. Yeah, you might hear a little bit of noise like wind, but it's Mother Nature, and it's watering my plants, and they need some water. So let's get into this plant collection that I have in my room, and then the ones I just bought. Okay, let's get to it. So this one I picked up from Lowe's, and it was $5, which I consider a steal because this pot alone would be like 15 bucks at Target. And guess what? Bonus points, there's a plant in there. Is it alive? I'm not sure. My sister was trying to find this tag so that we can scan it, and it was drenched in water when she took it out. So look at the roots are coming out, so this definitely needs to be taken out of this pot. The soil is drenched, which is pretty bad because this plant is not supposed to be soaked. And yeah, there's a lot of plants. But I have some hope because look at these ones are still standing up. It's beautiful. And this said it is it just says it's a boho plant. So that's the first plant that I got. Then I got succulents for my garden outdoors, and this was $3. If you guys go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you guys know that a little one like this is about $2.50 to $5 depending on how big it is and what type of succulent it is. Look at this. There is 5 plants in here. So that should be, we'll just round up and say $5 each. 5, 10, 15, 20, $25. And I got it for how much? $3. Then I got this one, which is nothing like I have in my collection yet. This one is actually, look, it has like purple specks on it. I think it's not very healthy, so that's why like the color is kind of faded. It's kind of droopy, it's kind of ugly, but it was $3. And this is originally $8.98, so $9, so $6 I saved, which is not bad, and it's called a wiper plant. Pretty excited to have a new succulent to my collection because most of my succulents that I have right now are pretty much just copycats of the other people, because like I said, I like to just propagate them, and once in a while I like to purchase new succulents. So those are those 3. Then this is the pot that I went to go purchase from Lowe's. So I bought this actually for this beautiful monstera that I actually found at Sprouts. Did I know that you can go to a supermarket and buy plants like this gorgeous one? No. So I already own one. I ordered it from Iowa on Etsy. So I had to pay shipping and I had to wait for it, and it was a tiny little baby. And I paid like $15 for a plant that was like this height. $15. Do you guys want to know how much I spent on this one? Guess. Already, I gave you enough time to guess. I spent $10. $10 on this plant. If any of you guys know how much these cost, then you know that was a steal. Look, it has the split leaves. You look at that. Look at how gigantic these leaves are too. This one definitely needs to be put in another pot, which is why we went to Lowe's to go buy another pot, because the roots are coming out from the top. Look at this. The roots are coming out right here. You see this? And I looked it up and they said it wasn't bad. As long as the plant has new leaves growing, like new growth, then they said it's okay. It probably just needs to be repotted. And this one actually does have another leaf growing right here. And it's actually, you can see and feel that it's actually a split leaf one. So I'm really happy. I actually own one of these and only one of my leaves ever split. And then that one actually, it got crowded into my wall and then ripped, and it was so sad. So sad. So I'm happy I actually have a plant that has a couple, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 split leaves. So sprout, $10. You guys got to go to there. But this will go into this baby right here. And I like this pot too because all of the water can load it right here and then it'll suck up all the water, or it's gonna let the water drain down so it's not sitting in soggy water. So yeah. Those are all of the new plants that I'm gonna add to my collection. And so I spent a total of $24 for 4 plants. If that's not a steal, then I don't know what is. I didn't win the lotto this weekend, but I feel like I did. Okay, so I'm sorry about the lighting. Like I said, it's raining outdoors and the lighting is just fluctuating so much right now. But like I stated, I need to repot some of my plants that I just bought. So here was a pot my mom got for me over the summer, and I tried to grow a tomato plant in here, but I forgot about it. I'm going to reuse this pot. It's kind of wet because I had to go run outside real quick to grab it. I'm gonna put this baby in here. I feel like, yeah, this pot's a little bit bigger. So let's repot this plant, my monstera, and since I have a new pot, I am actually going to plant my sticks on fire in here that I have a cutting from, and I'm going to see if theirs survives because I didn't really cut it that well. So I'm going to hope that it survives, but I'm going to put it in here, and since it's a clay pot, the clay pot will absorb most of the water, which will allow a little bit of water to ease back into the soil for this, and I think it's a pretty cute pot for this. Then my sister actually bought me this cutting for Christmas. If you watched my what I got for Christmas video, then you would see that she actually bought me this, but it needs a new home, so I'm actually gonna put it in here for right now because I got so excited about all the rest of the plants that I got over here. I totally forgot to buy him a plant, and I feel really bad for Sparkle or Speckle. I don't know. I don't name any of my plants. So let's roll a time lapse of me putting all these plants in some pots. Wow, it is, look at this, soaked, guys, wow. Alrighty, so these are my 3 plants that I just repotted. I hope they survive. I would usually do this outside, but like I said, it's raining. So let's hope you guys survive, and if they do, then I'm sure you guys will see them in future videos because I love my plants so much. So on to my monstera. Okay, so in my monstera that I actually have right here on my desk, I actually do have one of the stems that have a node on it. And if your monstera has a node, you can actually cut that off and propagate it. But like I said, that was my baby. That was the first time I ever purchased it. It's a little bit more expensive plant, so I didn't want to risk cutting it off and then it dying. But now that I have another one, I might propagate that one in the future. I will, because I want to give my friend, my sister, and my mom one, and so what better way than to propagate from my baby that I already have. And since it was my first one, that's pretty cool because then I can share the love. But it's time to get to this one. So here I was talking about the root. It is completely out, so let's start repotting this. So you just want to loosen up the soil in the pot because you don't want to yank it out and then rip any of the roots that are in there. I see all the gardening professionals do this, so I just mimic them. Whoa, that had a lot of roots. They say these plants like to be pot bound. I think that's the word. Basically, they like the crowding. So that's why I started out that monstera that I have on my desk in a smaller pot, because that's what they said they thrived on. Look at that. It kind of looks like, I don't know why it's reminding me of like Harry Potter for some reason. But look at how far down the roots are going. Wow. Okay, I want it about like right here. So I'm going to fill it up with soil. Alrighty guys, so it is time for my plant collection that I have in my room. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys the ones that are outdoors, so maybe eventually when it's springtime, I'll maybe show you guys all the new growth, but it's just raining outside. So we're just gonna do the ones that are inside my room, which, I mean, I got a lot of plants in here. Let's get to my collection. I will tell you guys, I do not know all of their proper names. So I will maybe put them on the screen if I figure them out. Let's start with the oldest plant that I have. This plant is actually about 5 years, I will say. I got it when I started college, and this was the first plant that I was like, okay, I can try to keep this alive, and that's why it probably looks the unhealthiest out of all the plants that I have in here, because I wasn't doing that good of a job. But here is my first plant and the oldest plant, and let's just go down the line. I don't remember the order for the rest of the plants because I just started buying. Okay, so it is just your generic golden pothos. And as you can see, it's not that healthy. It has a lot of spacing between it. Only 2 of them are long. I was able to cut all the rest of them and actually propagate them. Unfortunately, I left that outside during the summer and they all died. I do have another pothos. I do need my handy dandy step stool to get to it. This is my other pothos that I have, and my parents got it for me a couple Halloweens ago. I'm actually really happy because look at this. This one for some reason is turning half white, and I've seen these on Instagram and they sell those for a lot. So I don't know why it's developing the white pigment, but I'm not complaining and I'm really happy. This one probably needs to be repotted, but I haven't gotten to it because I love it so much. I might eventually try to propagate this long stem and then put it in this one so it could start up again, and maybe put the rest of them in my pothos that I have over there. And then I have 2 plants right here. This one I actually just got this Christmas from my sister, and this one is a peace lily my mom had got me, and I love this plant so much because it pretty much tells you when it needs to be watered. Because look at it's kind of droopy, so I probably have to water it. But this is my peace lily. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any flowers currently. Then this is my Perimian. I think that's the name. I can't really remember. My sister actually just got this for me. It's the white frost one. I believe it's really pretty, and she also bought me this pot that is so gorgeous. And then right here, I got my first ever snake plant that I ever purchased, and this is actually a baby that came afterwards, but that's my first ever snake plant that I ever got. I have another snake plant. This one is actually a little thicker. I actually purchased my friend a snake plant for Christmas, and it had babies, and this was one of the babies, so the pot was already crowded, so I decided to take this one and then pot it into this. Then here are all my little propagated succulents. I usually have this outdoors, but since it has been raining, they were drowning, so I brought them indoors. This is how they look when they propagate. See, a little succulent comes out from the leaf, and eventually they get this big, and then I will put them in the ground outdoors, and they thrive and produce more babies afterwards. So here is my lovely monstera that I was telling you guys that I purchased. It actually has grown a lot. Very tiny when I first bought it, and this was the split leaf that I told you guys unfortunately went into the wall exactly like this, and it cracked. But this was the only leaf that actually had a split in it, but as you can see, it's not fully split, so I don't know what's up about that. And then I got my aloe. Usually don't like aloe, but I took this pup from our aloe plant that we have in the backyard, and I put it next to my bedside because I heard there was lots of benefits to have an aloe plant in your room. I actually fell in love with her, and I actually started to appreciate the aloe plant. And I got my little humidifier here, so at night I could put it on and it sprays. And then this, I don't know the names of these ones, the little Christmas plants, and it needs to be repotted and taken out. It's dying, but I figure it's just dying because Christmas is over, but I don't really think that's really why it's dying. It's because I didn't take care of it. So I need to repot this. Finally, I got my Swiss cheese plant. I have this one growing up here in this pot. Ooh, the soil needs to be watered. And it's not growing. I have new growth right here, but it should be a lot longer by now because I bought this one the same time I bought my monstera, and that has grown a lot, and this one has just been stunting. So I don't know, I have it in this really nice hanging pot right here. But yeah, that is all of my plants. I hope all the plants that I rescued from Lowe's survive, and I really hope my monstera that I bought from Sprouts survives because that was a steal. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little video of my plant collection. I've always wanted to do a plant collection but never found the opportunity to, but now that I bought more plants for my room, I decided to do this quick little tour of my collection of plants. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed. Okay guys, I'll see you guys next week with another video if you subscribe. Bye guys.